Well, welcome guys, it's 10 weeks later. Quick caveat though, that video that you just saw as a cut of me revealing my 10-week transformation was actually done about a week ago. I did it on the morning of me leaving to Gold Coast, which is a trip that my family and I have just done for a race that I had up there, a half marathon. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you will have seen that anyway. And so we're now back from that holiday, back from that run, and I'm here now filming my video and to talk about the last 10 weeks and how it's all gone, kind of how I've progressed through that and kind of what's now come of it and where I'm kind of currently sitting now and what my goals are moving forward. So first and foremost, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who followed the very first video I did 10 weeks ago where I started this journey where I entitled that, I think, I Got Fat. I was in a really shitty place at that point, and I kind of was very open and honest with kind of where I was at and what I needed to do and kind of where I'd been, I guess, bullshitting my way through, kind of where I was in my journey and kind of how everything was going. And the support from that video was, it was huge, and I thank you very much for everyone who sent really nice comments and DMs and things like that to me over on my Instagram page and my emails and where I shared that video. So that's again a very big thank you. So here we are 10 weeks later, and I said back in that original video that my aim was to do 5 kilos lost in 10 weeks. At the time I was 72.7, so that would mean I needed to get to 67.7. Now, I got to 67.9, and when I revealed that on my Instagram page, a couple of people kind of said, you didn't quite get to the 5 kilos, and while that is true, and you can kind of technically call that a failure, I think far too many people get caught up in the kind of scale number being the only thing that they kind of, rate their progress by or rate their success or failure by. And I think this is a really dangerous place to be in, and it's always going to probably set you up for failure, because that number on that scale means nothing in the end of the day. Now, if you are 30, 40, 50, 60 kilos overweight, then absolutely seeing scale weight come off is going to be a sign of progress. But for me and for people who have only got, I say only because you still got it's still a significant amount of weight, but people who are only looking to lose 5 to 10 kilos, that scale weight really isn't the best and be all and end all kind of place that you should be looking at for looking at your progress. And I'm going to say this with absolute confidence. I think I look pretty good in that reveal. I could care less that I missed my kind of goal of 5 kilos by 200 grams. In considering what my transformation has looked like from where I was in the beginning, looks-wise, and where I was in the end, looks-wise, I think many of you will agree that my progress has been great, and that I've obviously lost body fat. I've obviously gained some lean muscle mass in that time. And to now flip that and talk more about the kind of mental aspect of it and kind of the habits I've now recreated back in my life, that's where the major kind of progress and wins have been over this last 10 weeks. And as I shared in that original video, and if I can, I'll try and share the link in the description down below, or just go back a few videos in my YouTube channel and be able to see that particular video I'm talking about where I kind of started this whole journey. I was, as I said, at a place where I was not routinely exercising. I was only probably exercising 2 to 3 times a week. Now, people will say, oh, that's plenty. For me, I'm someone who usually exercises 5 to 6 times a week. So to go back to 2 to 3 times a week, for me, was getting very lazy, and I wasn't living the life that I know I should be and can be. And I was using every excuse that I know many of my clients use, and I know many of you guys use, of I don't have time, I don't feel like it. All of those excuses, that they are just that, they're excuses. They're not excuses that can give you reason to not actually make your health and your well-being a priority. We all have shit that goes on in our lives, I absolutely understand that. But if you can't find half an hour for yourself every single day to do something for yourself, then I don't think you're living your life correctly, and you've got to try and find a way and prioritize a way to make your health much more of an important aspect of your life. And that's certainly what I did over this time, in that there were many times over this last 10 weeks where I didn't want to do an exercise, and some exercise or kind of eat the way that I did for most of the time. And you'll get this on your journey as well, whether you're on just a kind of 10-week short, kind of journey to kind of get yourself back into routine, or you've got, 40, 50, 60 kilos worth of weight and you're on a journey for the next couple of years, and then obviously the rest of your life beyond that. But whatever it is, there's going to be times, and there's going to be many times along that journey where you just don't feel like getting up and going to the gym, or going for that walk, or making or pre-preparing your lunch before heading into work, or cooking up dinner after a long day at the office, or going to the gym after a long day at the office, or whatever it might be. Motivation is not something that you should be relying on as your way to get you to do things. I've said this time and time again, that it's action that creates the momentum that causes motivation for you. And once that motivation comes from action, motivation will then create results. Those actions that you've had will create results, and then you'll in turn get that snowball effect to kind of create more action, which will create more motivation and kind of fall, I guess, in that way. Too many people, and I was guilty of it myself, that were just kind of relying on motivation. It's like, tomorrow will be the day that I'll feel great, or when I get to this weight, or when it's on Monday, or when it's the start of the month, that's when I'll kind of start my journey. Stop kind of having some landmark or waiting for some emotion to get you started. Action is what is going to get you going, and whether you like it or not, just get started. And it can be the smallest of things. And I had a client say this to me the other day, in that he calls it just put on my shoes type method, in that when he's not feeling like going to the gym, he just says, put on your shoes. Just start at that. Because more often than not, that simple act of just putting on your shoes, you go, well, I got my shoes on now, I might as well head down to the gym, and I'll just do 5 minutes. I'll just get to the gym, do 5 minutes, and then that'll be fine. And then once you've had 5 minutes, you're at the gym, well, I'm already here, I've got my shoes on, I've done 5 minutes, I might as well just do another half an hour. It's just starting that one small action. It's that one small action in a variety of different things that we'll talk about. Sorry, I'm kind of recovering from a cold, so if I sound a bit snuffly. It's that one small action that can really help kind of bring on other actions and those motivations that you've been wanting to have, that you didn't think would come from just a very small action. And as I said, it could be as simple as just putting on a pair of shoes, or it can be as simple as just starting tomorrow with something. Now, that something might be, you usually reach for the cookie jar every morning, at smoko break, mid-morning at the office. Maybe take an apple, and maybe today you have an apple instead of reaching for that cookie jar. That one small action might just be that catalyst for you that makes you go, oh, I feel better for doing that. So at lunchtime, instead of choosing the heavy, big, fatty lasagna and cheese kind of meal, you choose a chicken grilled salad at the cafe. And that then kind of spurs you on, oh, I feel better again. And then you might kind of go to the gym that afternoon, or go for a walk after work. And then that action then creates another action, which creates another action. And it all started from you just having that apple instead of the cookie. You just never know what one small action might do. And that's exactly where I needed to be for this particular 10-week journey. And it's a one small action that I got on camera, got very vulnerable, very open, very honest. And it was that kind of vulnerability to you guys watching in on this, and then the flood of support that came in after it. It was that one small action for me that kind of got me going and got me started. And every single day that I didn't want to do something, whether it was my 4 a.m. run on Wednesday mornings, whether it was my gym workouts, whether it was my other runs and my Sunday morning runs and things like that, that kept me going. Sorry, this nose. Kept me going, and on those days where I just did not want to do it, I got up anyway and did it. And you all know this, and you've heard me say it, and you've heard 1,000 other fitness people say it time and time again, that you just, the feeling you get after exercise, no one ever regrets having gone and done that exercise. Now, you might be sitting there, it's warm in bed, and it's cold outside, you can hear it raining, it's not nice, you don't want to go out for that run, or you don't want to get out and go into the swimming pool, the gym, or whatever it might be. It's more comfortable in bed. Absolutely, it's more comfortable in bed, but it's that act of getting up that, think about yourself, your future self, an hour from now. You know that your future self will be kicking you, what's the kind of term, but will be kicking it that you didn't get up. you know you'll be regretting it and going, I should have gotten up. It would have been hard, but if I'd kind of gone to the gym. And then you flip that, if you did get up, that hour later, how good you feel. It's like, I'm so glad I got out of bed. I feel so much better. I got my day started. I've now had some exercise. I'm feeling energetic. I'm off I go. You know that you're going to feel that way. So think about in that comfortable situation when the easier kind of choice would be to stay in bed or just get Uber Eats or whatever the kind of easier choice would be. Think about yourself 30 minutes or an hour. Think about your future self and what that future self is going to say to you. You know every single time that if you take the easy route, your future self's going to go, you should have not done that. You should have gone for the run or cooked dinner or whatever it might have been. Or if you do take that harder choice and get out of bed and go to the gym or prepare your meals or whatever it might be, you know that future self will have thanked you and you'll feel better for that. And so that's the biggest kind of takeaway I can get from or try and give to you guys now. And as I always say, if I can get one person just to take action from some piece of content that I put up, then I'm happy. So if just one of you now watching this video says, you know what, Adam, absolutely, I've been making excuses, I'm full of shit, I haven't been doing what I should have been doing or said I should have been doing, I'm going to now make today the day I take action, and then the day after, and then the day after, and the day after. And I know I'm going to realize that this is going to get tough, and at times it's not going to be easy, and you're going to be motivated, those first couple of days. You're going to maybe watch this video and go, yep, I'm going to do it. That motivation isn't going to last. It might be one day, it might be 1 week, it might be 1 month, but at some point, you're going to tip off that kind of motivation scale. You're not going to see the kind of results continue to come through because they don't. And if you had followed my journey through Instagram again, where I posted my weight daily, you saw that it went up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. It was all over the place, but the general trend over time, because I stayed consistent, saw my weight go down. And even if you were perfect, and I was certainly not perfect on this journey, there were many times where I had my daughter's birthday through this. I enjoyed a bucket load of cake and lollies and things at her birthday. There was times away at my parents' house, and of course I'm going to eat mum's home-cooked meals and home-cooked desserts. I have dinner at my parents-in-law's house every Sunday, or most Sunday nights, and that's always a really nice dinner that my wife's mum cooks up. So I'd always indulge in that. But mostly I was consistent throughout the entire journey, and that consistency, even as I said, that consistency is what kept that trend of that weight going down. But let's just say you just did it absolutely perfect. You nailed your nutrition and your exercise every single day without fail. You're always still going to see that weight go up and down, and people just get discouraged because they see that number on that scale and they drill their emotions so highly into that scale that if they see any fluctuation up, they go, oh, well, it's not working. What's the point? I might as well just quit this and just get off this. It doesn't work that way. We are not robots that you have one input that then creates one result. We're going to fluctuate. And I've done posts on this time and time again on my Instagram page again, that there's so many reasons why the scale weight will fluctuate that has nothing to do with fat gain. And you guys know this. You know that if the scale weight is half a kilo up tomorrow, and even if you had a bad day yesterday, by an unplanned meal, or you indulge, or you're out with Friday night drinks, or whatever it might be, you know that scale is not representative of seeing half a kilo of fat gain. You know it doesn't come on that quick, and you know it doesn't come off that quick. So you just have to get out of your own headspace and stop worrying about these very small things that, as I said, could be fluid retention. You could have had a workout yesterday. You could have your period if you're female. There could be stress at work, which has got your hormones all out of whack. And all these different things that are going to cause different spikes and dips and fluctuations in your weight that have nothing to do with fat loss. You should stop worrying about those. And as I said, get on the scale every single day. I'm someone who believes that you should get on that scale every single day and just track it, because it's like, for me, I hate flying, but by getting in there and flying, I get less. It's probably not a good example, because I actually don't get better with more flying. But you try and think of a situation, and I can't think of something off the top of my head, where if you do it more often, you get kind of desensitized to it, and you're less kind of prone to feel huge fluctuations in emotions because of whatever that might be. That's exactly the same with the scales. That people are so scared of those scales because they get them on every single week, and they're like, oh, what's the scale going to say this week? get on it every single day, record it in a tracking app, and just watch those fluctuations happen. And you can start to see patterns that, when, again, for females, when your period comes on, you see those fluctuations of that weight come up. It's got nothing to do with fat gain. You know that. You know it happens every month. But because you haven't sometimes seen the actual data as it goes over weeks and months, that you can see these spikes happen. You go, well, there was my period, there was my period, there was my period. Oh, spike, spike, spike. You can start understanding that tomorrow I'm going to get my period, my spike's going to come up. Or if you've had a really stressful couple of days at work, you can see that again. Oh, that was that time I had that report due and I had to have a flight interstate and there's a spike again. So these things kind of start to happen. You can start to see where they will, and that these fluctuations become quite predictable, in that you don't just, it's rare that you just get on the scales and go, oh, where'd that fluctuation come from? You can normally kind of pare it back and kind of understand where they came from, in that you could have eaten later last night because you had a dinner with colleagues at work, or you had a meeting late and that had you eating at 9:30 at night rather than your 6 o'clock. You're going to have more food sitting in your system undigested. That's going to mean you're going to be heavier the next morning. You could have had a big glass of water just before going to bed. That's going to adjust the weight the next morning. So all these different kinds of things that have nothing to do with fat gain is what you're going to see on those scales. And that's why I say get on those scales every single day and just have it as a data point. Like, you don't have to kind of heavily focus on it, but just plug it in every single day. And then every single week, you then take your measurements, obviously your waist around your belly button, your hips, and maybe up across your chest. And if you want to, you can do your thighs, your arms, however many different points you want to. But then do them every single week, and then take a photo every single week. And it's those combination of those different progress markers, the scale weight, your measurements, and your photos, that over time you are going to see a difference. And it's clear from the very first video I did, from where I kind of revealed my physique 10 weeks ago to where I revealed my physique just now. You can see clearly that there's been a big change in body composition, and the scale weight would have actually been more if I hadn't been doing some strength training throughout that, because of that strength training, me being very kind of tight with regards to my protein and really kind of tracking the food I was taking in over that time. And I've done a couple of videos over this time on the YouTube channel again that has shown my full day of eating, and you will have seen those if you have come across them. But I was mostly strict with my food when I was tracking it throughout the week. And as I said, there was a couple of those unplanned meals where I'm at my parents' house, or I'm at my parents-in-law, or my daughter's birthday, things like that, where I didn't track and I didn't worry about them. Most of the time, though, I was very strict with my food, and that I timed that quite well with my strength training aspects of that. And that's certainly why I have increased and kind of certainly got stronger, more lean muscle, and had some great adaptations in there. But obviously, that has then seen my weight not go down as much. But that's, as again, I wasn't too focused. Obviously, I wanted that 5 in 10, and that's a whole point of when I kind of talked about this whole 5 in 10, that a lot of people now are starting to jump on board with. I've got another round of people about to start next week on their 10-week journey, and this is something I really want to get going in, kind of helping people on their kind of 5 kilos in 10 weeks. So if you're interested, you can, the details are in below of kind of my Instagram or my email. If you want to email me about what's this 5 in 10, I can certainly talk to you more about it there. But it's just getting you going, instilling those habits, getting you to take action, and starting to teach you things that over this next 10 weeks that you might go on, you can start to learn things that will then kind of play out for the rest of your life. And that's what my whole idea of this. It's not get shredded in 10 weeks. While, yes, the aim is to lose some weight, get fitter, start doing some things that will obviously help you long term, my whole plan about this is to teach you things that you can then have for the rest of your life. That should you find yourself in 6 months' time, 2 years' time, 10 years' time, having fallen off the wagon again because of whatever the reasons might be, you can then go, I can go back to those things that I learnt with Adam, just instill them again, get going again, and away we go. And that was the whole point of me doing this, to show you guys that I can do this, you can do this, anyone can do this. And so, again, I really hope that what I've rambled on about today has helped you guys in some way. I feel great. I've just been on a 1 week holiday. I tracked nothing. I have done no exercise. I've eaten what I liked and I felt great for that. I've come back a kilo or two heavier than where I was, and that's fine. Where am I going from now? The reason, as I said, I was up in the Gold Coast was because I had a half marathon there, and I've been trying to get a sub 100 minute time in a half marathon for quite some time now, and I did that, and I feel really good about that. But that means that my focus is now switching back to the gym, and I'm really keen on getting strong in the gym again, lifting some heavy weights again, really building some proper lean muscle again. And so over the next kind of, I'd say 5 months, heading into kind of December, where I know my life is going to get very hectic because we're about to have our second child in December. I really want to put this time now because I know it's going to be getting hectic and I won't be able to spend as much time on my health and well-being come December. I want to be there for my family. That I really want to put a good kind of solid stint over the next 4 to 5 months of building as much lean muscle, building the physique that I know I can have and I know I want. And that's my goal heading into, obviously, summer as well. Obviously, love getting the shirt off in summer, enjoying Melbourne summer. It's disgusting, you guys can't see there, but that's our window just there. It's disgusting out here in Melbourne. It's currently, what are we, July, mid-July now, so it should be disgusting. It's the middle of winter. But yeah, I'm really keen to getting back in the gym. I'll still run maybe once or definitely once a week. I run every Sunday, and that's always a standard. And now that, as I said, I'm going to try and start lifting more weights, I won't be doing the distance I was because it'll get quite tough on my body. So I'll probably do anywhere from 8 to 12k runs on a Sunday, which is quite short for me. And I can get that over and done within an hour, so that's great. But most of my week will be probably 4 training sessions a week in the gym. So that'll give me 5 sessions, and I might still do, I'll probably still do my Wednesday morning run that I do, which is the day that I have daddy-daughter day, and so I don't get a chance to do any exercise on that day, so I have to get up before I go to work and come home to take care of my daughter for the day, and the only time I can do that is 4 a.m. So I get up and do a quick little 5k run on that morning. So I'll still keep that up. So that'll keep my 5 to 6 sessions a week, but a much heavier focus on the gym side of things, and I'll really be dialing in my nutrition to make sure I'm getting adequate protein in that time to help with those building blocks. And so I might kind of do another one of these videos come December, and you can kind of see the transformation from now where I'm kind of at my leanest and lightest. I will definitely have been putting on weight over the next 5 months, and that'll be my aim. And we'll kind of see what I guess the transformation has been from there. So again, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're still tuning in, thank you very much for listening to the end. As always, guys, if this is the first time you've been to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so you can always be let known that there's another video out. I'm going to start doing more reviews on this channel of different products. I've started having companies send me products. I've always said, and I will continue this until the day I die, I do not do affiliate marketing. I do not get paid ever to do a product review or anything like that, but I'm happy to kind of have people send me their products and I can do a review from there. If you're sending me your products, I always let them know that I will be completely open and honest. If I don't like your product, I'm going to say that. And most companies, obviously, if they stand by their product, will go, well, no, we believe you're going to love this product. They'll happily send it across anyway. So I want to start doing more reviews. And so I've got 2 products that are going to be coming. I'm going to be actually filming them all today, but I'll release those videos in due course. They'll be over on my Instagram page as well. So if you want to see those, and if you want to make any recommendations of things that I could review, I'm not always going to rely on kind of companies sending me things. I'm going to go out and buy things, or things I already have myself. Might be running shoes. I just bought a new pair of shoes from Allbirds. They're kind of claimed as the world's most comfortable shoes, so I've been walking around in them for a week or so. I'm going to do another week or 2 in them to kind of get a real good sense of how they are and how they react to different environments and things like that. But there's those. I bought them myself. They didn't get sent to me. But I'm going to do different things. So if there's something you want to hear me kind of review, if it's something that you've heard about or that a friend of yours had, maybe I can look to buy them myself, or maybe I can reach out to the company, see if they want to send me something through. But whatever it might be, I'm going to start doing more reviews on this channel, but I also kind of post it over on my Instagram page as well. But that's the end of here. As I said, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button if you found this of value. I'll see you on the next videos. Have a great day. I love you all. Thanks, guys.